I'm looking forward to talking to you a little bit today about a big issue in research methods. So, a big distinction involved in research methods and research in particular are whether you're doing it quantitatively or qualitatively. Quantitative approaches tend to focus on looking at numbers, drawing conclusions, or making judgments. So, you can take a phenomenon that you observe in the world and you simplify it so that you can take numbers and take an average of it. Let's say you want to know about the impact of COVID on educational issues. Then you're not possible to look at everything going on there at one time. So you might look at teaching approaches, and that's your focus. And then you might compare two particular approaches, one to another, and how people perceive those. Those are your observations. So that's a quantitative approach because you're gathering data to try to look at how coronavirus and the impact of the pandemic is affecting schools and classrooms. But it's a very simplified and particular way. That is, how is it affecting methodologies of teaching and the perceptions of students of those? So there, you've turned a big question, a big idea, into a quantitative approach that you can simplify and collect data on and observe. That's a quantitative method. The qualitative method is when you're looking at the phenomenon, but you want to keep all the nuances and intricacies involved in it, and you want to try to understand that phenomenon in its wholeness. You want to attend to the meaning or explain and understand the experience for itself. It's aimed at understanding in that sense. So if you're thinking about COVID, you might ask yourself a broader question like, what's going on with how people are coping with COVID within the classroom? And instead of simplifying it, you go into the context to understand it in all of its realness and all of its nuances and all of its complexities. That's a qualitative approach because you're looking for all the qualities are relevant. In quantitative approach, you're trying to simplify it and make it into a numerical problem. And at any time that you do that, you're taking out some of the experience, some of the opportunities, some of the possibilities. So quantitative and qualitative are big distinctions that you can look at when you're thinking about research methods. And you'll see those in the research articles and other topics that we deal with this semester.